Next up is Mr. Carter from Georgia.
From Georgia, go Dogs. Gentlemen, back in 2018, I had the opportunity to tour the Fox Sports headquarters, and I was able to see firsthand the hundreds of technological staff that are working hard to produce and broadcast sporting events, and so I have a healthy respect, and I understand that it is a mammoth undertaking, and so I appreciate that and understand that. But it was a great opportunity for me to see innovation and investment up close. You know, no matter what day of the week it is, we all take for granted the fact that we get to turn on our TV and watch our favorite teams like the Georgia Bulldogs in high definition, and it really is something that that keeps me going. I know that. Mr. Oren, let me start with you. Can you tell me the difference or how the college sports marketplace differs from the professional? How does it differ? Or does it?
It differs greatly, in especially in terms of football, where you have different conferences. So Georgia is part of the SEC. Ohio State is part of the Big Ten, and they negotiate national deals based on their regional footprint. Professional sports with the NFL, with the NBA, and Major League Baseball, they negotiate just national deals. That's it, and then the individual team.
You think that's going to change as we see a consolidation of the conferences, though? I mean, we got Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC now.
I believe Stanford's in the Atlantic Coast Conference as well. Yeah. I would expect something to change. I have no knowledge that anything's going to change, but I think one of the areas of growth in the business of college sports is to centralize everything and actually go to the market with a really big package.
I suspect that's the case. Mr. Thune, do you have any comment on that?
Well, I think part of the conference realignment was about money, obviously. Because because the Pac-12 failed to get a market-based television deal, and those colleges couldn't compete with the likes of the SECs or the Big Tens or even the Big 12s or the ACC. So they had to pack their bags and find new conferences. And some of them found their way into the Big Ten, and some found their way into the ACC. Mm-hmm. What that means for subscribers, though, interestingly, what it means to our checkbooks, is that these conference payments are predicated on the team territories and the states that those colleges occupy. So suddenly the ACC is going to get money from pay TV for California, for Oregon. You're going to have the Big 12 just picked up Colorado, where it wasn't in the footprint before. You will have the SEC now picking up Oklahoma, that was sitting in the Big 12 before. The Big Ten has the widest berth of teams across the country, and they didn't coincidentally pick teams from big markets where they could draw big subscriber fees.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank both. Mr. Bergmeyer, you wrote in December of 2023 that with streaming, viewers can pick and choose which services to subscribe to instead of being forced to pay for an all-encompassing bundle. Can you go more into that and how this flexibility has the potential to save consumers money?
Yeah, absolutely. The one-size-fits-all model of MVPDs, cable, and satellite, where any content that you want has to be in that bundle. There's the cross-subsidization that we talk about. Really led to a lot of people paying very inflated prices, in particular for sports. For years, there were calls for a la carte cable and everything. I think streaming has really realized that vision where people can pick and choose. And it means that if you're not a sports fan, this is a very pro-sports day, but lots of Americans aren't sports fans, and there's really no reason why they should be the ones who are forced to subsidize sports fans. And I think that online video gives people the option just to pick just the video that they want. And it's something that we've mentioned before. People aren't really locked into long-term contracts with streaming video too, and they can come and go as content becomes available. And I think that provides a very good discipline for the services to ensure they're continuing to provide value instead of just locking people in.
Good. Mr. Lawley, real quick, we've heard about Peacock, and we all know, and I want to tell you, I got a lot of comments, a lot of emails, emails, a lot of texts from people who were upset about that. Yep. So please, y'all understand that really did get our attention here in Congress. But can you explain to me how the NFL makes these kind of decisions about regarding which markets or streaming services get to air the games?
Yeah, my understanding is, look, the history of the NFL was built on over-the-air broadcast, right? And making games available for free in every market where a team played. And that's what they did as they negotiated this new deal and included Peacock, that they made available those games, Kansas City and Miami, specifically those two teams, where those local markets, NBC affiliates, were allowed to broadcast the games into the market. Where it failed is adjacent markets. Obviously, where it failed is the whole country didn't get to see the game, in the masses, and the ratings were half. The Chiefs game the week before against the Bills reached 50 million households. That game reached half. But even West Palm Beach, an adjacent market, 20 miles from West Palm Beach to Hard Rock Stadium, the NFL had not contemplated. Those are Dolphin fans, and yet they didn't give them the rights into that market.
Right.
Only Miami. So I think that's one of the things that's.
Well, let me assure you from constituent feedback, it failed. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.